students, how are you? Hope all of you are doing very well at home and also studying along with that. Today we have been studied geography long back, and with this class of yours we have done the first class, and I mean the first chapter I have done with you, and today I will be doing the second chapter. Okay. Long before I have done the first part with you, the first chapter with you, you know about your second chapter, that is what it is. We will be talking about the origin of the earth and its evolution and all these things. Okay. So, you see, when we talk about this evolution of the earth and all these things, what we actually mean that how did this how did the earth and the universe got originated, isn't it? When we talk about this origin, the first idea comes into our mind that what could be the condition, what could be the previous condition, and from that condition what could be the journey towards what could be the journey that has carried on and has come to the present scenario. So, like that kind of many questions arises into our mind, and we can see that with these questions man has started making lot of with this inquisitiveness, how did this universe has come into being. Okay. And the proper time for to look into those, to observe all those, what is that? That is the night sky. Okay. The night sky is the proper time when when the geographers, when the astronomers, okay, and those who observe the universe, they prefer the time of the night time, so that they can look into the universe very properly with the help of their telescopes and all those, and can observe the activities, can observe the realities of the universe. Okay. So, like that we can see from the beginning part, we can will say that as the human civilization have started, what we find here, students, as the human civilization have started, we find that before the means from that time people has been very much curious to know about the origin of this earth, about the origin of the what we see the other celestial body from our earth. We see what we see the other two celestial bodies, that is the sun and the moon, isn't it? So, the sun and the moon only we can see from our earth, right. So, and the earth that we are staying here. So, we do not have anything to compare, to make a comparison. So, do we have anything to compare about along with our earth? No, we hardly do not have anything. What we see? We can see the moon, we can see the sun, and the differences we see every time it takes a time that the days and nights are happening. So, this kind of changes we observe, and we pass along with every day with the various time of the day. It's dawn, it's morning, it's noon, then afternoon, then evening, then night, midnight, again dawn, like that. So, all these things happens, these kind of changes we observe in every 24 hours. What we observe the various changes of the moon, isn't it? The various changes of the moon that happens. The moon also makes various phases. The moon also makes various phases, and at one time the moon is nowhere in into the sky, that is the time of the new moon, and then next day we find a small portion of the moon comes out. So, like that various changes we observe from the earth. We see what else we observe? We see the various seasons, we feel the various seasons. So, like that into this order we find many things are changing. Okay. So, all these things we have been talking about the evolution and of the universe and earth. So, what it is actually we are talking about? The inquisitiveness of the human being. The human being are very much curious to know about the origin, about the evolution and all these things. So, to know about the evolution and origin and all these things, man has chosen the night time to observe to all these things, and has gradually why have I talking about I have been talking about the celestial bodies. See, man has developed a kind of a model. Okay. One is they have developed two kinds of model, that is the geocentric, and the other one is the heliocentric. Okay. One is the geocentric model, the other one is the heliocentric model. So, this geocentric model, man has developed these two kinds of model according to his what? According to his observations. His observations has led him to develop these two kinds of model. Okay. Now, this model, what is the geocentric model? As the word geo refers, it means the earth is in the middle. Okay. The earth is in the middle. Man has been curious that actually when we find that the earth is in the middle, so what it is? That we can see the moon from our earth, we can see the sun from our earth. So, obviously earth is in the middle and all these things are surrounding us, isn't it? The moon is also surrounding, that is why the moon is small and big and says this kind of size, that is the concept. Yes. And what is the sun? The sun should also be surrounding to us, that is why we find different phases of the sun every day, isn't it? So, this is the thing. During the morning time, then again during the evening time. So, this by these observations, based on these observations, people has developed the geocentric model of the earth. Okay. So, this geocentric model refers that earth is in between and all are the planets, all the planets are encircling around the earth, all the planets are encircling around the earth, something like that. Okay. This was the concept. What is the concept of the heliocentric model? What is the concept of the heliocentric model, students? The heliocentric model shows that it has been developed with this concept, people have started developing, alright, and they have reached that no, it cannot be the condition, it can be something different, that there should be something different, that is the sun should be in the between and all other things should be surrounding it. Okay, like with their observations, with their understanding, they has developed a different model, that is keeping sun in the middle, okay, and all other planets surrounding it, like that. Okay, all other planets surrounding it. So, these are the two different kinds of models that human being has developed based on their observations. So, moving forward, we see that we have been talking now moving further, you see what is the evolution of the how did the earth get evolved, alright, like that how did the universe got evolved. So, these were the observation of the human civilization, okay, and with this observation they have moved forward and tried to understand, no, these things are not sufficient for us to understand about the realities and the facts of the earth. So, what they have done, they have tried to understand and by and by, as the human civilization has passed, many thinkers and many geographers, they have developed and has come to the conclusion that no, actually this has been the condition, that a sun is this was the first and the foremost kind of a thing, and the inquisitiveness which has been developed, I have shown you just now, and later on they have tried to make it much more comprehensive study. Okay, I have talked, I just introduced to you with the pre-concept, okay, and after that they have come to a conclusion that no, this is the perfect thing, the heliocentric model is the perfect thing, which suggests that no, sun is in between and all other planets are surrounding it. Now, with this thing, man did not stop. Man has started doing what? They have started doing some more observations and conclusions, and with this many thinkers have developed, many geographers have developed, and some of those Galileo, Eratosthenes, they have made lot of contributions in this into these things. We have to say say about their contributions and what are their approaches towards those, and for analyzing and discovering the realities of the universe. Okay. So, like that we can see in the year 1755 there at that time Kant, okay, Kant was a German scholar. He has given a hypothesis called as the Kant's hypothesis, Kant's nebula hypothesis, okay, and his name is what? Immanuel Kant. What is his name? Immanuel Kant. Okay, his name is Immanuel Kant, and Immanuel Kant has referred that this universe has actually in which year he has given the concept? In the year 1755. Okay. In the year 1755 he has given the concept, and he has said that he has given the theory called as the Kant's nebula hypothesis. Okay, is the Kant's nebula hypothesis. So, Kant's nebula hypothesis, as the name suggests, that it is the, he is talking about some nebula. Okay. It is, he is talking about some nebula. What is nebula? That is the some kind of cloud. Okay, some kind of cloud, some kind of matter, when it got consolidated together. So, it has formed some kind of cloud. All right. When see, the universe has what is the condition of the universe, what is the scenario of the universe, everything was nothing being witnessed by human being. Okay. All the things have come by the various observations, and these observations have also proved wrong, as by the passing of the time some more developed technology has come, some more scientific equipments have come, and these have helped the human being to understand and explain the realities of the universe and nature and earth. All right. So, that is why the things also got keeps on changing by and by. The things also gets changed according to the conceptions, that conceptions gets changed according to the observations, according to the understanding. So, the previous things, every time the initial part has to be every time the initial part is something very much challenging. The initial part is something very much which has lot of might be there is some lot of mistakes, as we have seen about the geocentric and the heliocentric model. So, like that kind of concepts also gets eradicated along with the advance of the concepts, along with the advancement of the science and technology, along with the advancement of various machineries that helps us to analyze and see the universe and observe the universe. So, along with this we see that Kant's nebula hypothesis, in this hypothesis we can see about the origin of the universe. He has explained, see, there are into your book there are lot of theories, those are given. Okay. Your this chapter constitutes to be of two different segments. One segment constitute to be of the previous theories which have put forward which have been put forward to you, and we will be discussing about those theories today. And the next part is about the conceptions of the modern theories, which deals about the which deals with the evolution of the universe and the earth. All right. So, like that we can see that first one we will be discussing about the that is nebula, Kant's nebula hypothesis. So, this nebula hypothesis, as it suggests that this is the this is talking about a kind of cloud. Okay, it's talking about a kind of cloud which was once these were far apart from each other, and this far apart cloud were into their own places. All right, and by some means or the other they have started being attracted to each other. When they started being attracted to each other, they have all come closer to one another. Okay, something like this. See, when see, we can see here that suppose some matters are there. Okay, some matters are there like this, and this all these matters have were something far apart. They were something like that, far apart. Okay, but due to some reason they all of them have started coming closer to each other. They were in this condition, very far apart from each other, but due to some reason all of them have started coming closer to each other, coming closer, or so so the middle part got consolidated. All right, like that it is. The middle part got consolidated from all the directions. It has started coming closer to each other, and resultantly we find that all the matter got concentrated due to the excessive gravitational attraction, and this concentration is due to what? This concentration of the matter is due to what? This concentration of the matter is due to the gravitational is due to the gravitational attraction. It is due to the gravitational attraction. Okay. So, this gravitational attraction is only responsible for bringing all the distantly spaced matter together. So, this distantly spaced matter came closer together and formed to a big mass. Okay. This is this and the reason is what? The reason is the gravitational attraction. And this innumerable tiny primordial matter, this matter, all the matter which had come closer together, to them Kant has named them as primordial matter. They have Kant has named them as primordial matter. So, this primordial matter has come closer together as due to the resultant effect of the gravitational attraction, and all of them has come closer together. As they have come closer together, there is a resultant effect of it. What is the resultant effect? That is rise in heat. The heat has risen. Okay, that is, you can say temperature have risen. Heat has risen or the temperature has risen within this matter. As they have come consolidated to each other, as they have come closer to each other. So, what has happened resultantly? The heat has started increasing. As with the they got motion, and as with the increase of the heat, what happens now, students? There is something to understand. This rise in heat has happened. Why? Why these things has happened? Because gravitational attraction has made them all closer together, and as they have come closer together, the heat has increased. The heat has increased, and then what happens? Each one of the molecule, when it gets heat, then what it happens? They start to expand. Okay, they come consolidated to one another. They came consolidated to one another very tightly with one another. Then they have gained the heat. They have come closer together, and the heat has started increasing. Due to the increase of heat, what happens when you apply heat to some matter? What happens to that matter? The molecules of the matter wants to go apart from each other. The molecules of the matter want to go apart from each other. Okay. This is the condition between the molecules. Okay. They try to go apart from each other, and resultantly what happens? An explosion occurs. Resultantly what happens? An explosion occurs, and they actually go away from each other. So, what we find? That they go away from each other and forming various and has taken various shape. Alright, what is that? They have started spreading out into the universe. Okay, they have started spreading out into the universe, and they fell into collision with, for which temperature increased, and they got motion. With the rise in temperature, another thing happened, that is, they have gained some motion. Okay. With this motion, they have got apart from each other, and they have spreaded out from one another, and they began to split. They have broken down, and they have begun to split into eddies, and they have begun to split out. So, when they have gone splitted out, what they have done? The matter started to circling one another, and some small matter started circling one another, and these have converted to another bigger structure. Okay, like that small matter started to nucleating one another, and they have consolidated to a certain structure like that. Okay. So, in this way many have taken place. Okay, in this way many have taken place, and they began to spin like eddies, which they produce some angular velocity, and the speed also increased. Okay, and this increase of the speed made them to increase into the angular velocity. Okay, what has made? That is they have increased into the angular velocity. Okay, the angular velocity have increased, and they have taken the shape of the that is the shape of the universe, okay. I mean the solar system. They have taken the shape of the solar system, being sun in the middle and all other planets encircling it, like that, okay. So, this was the concept that was being given by Kant, okay. Kant has given this concept, and he has also stated that it is in this condition the universe has taken its form, right. It has been given in the year 1755, and with this we find that the resultantly they began to cool, and as a result of condensation they have taken the shape of various planets, okay. They have condensed, as due to the gaining of the heat they have started encircling and have been formed into planets, and this planet continuously by moving and all they have started becoming cooled and have taken the shape of planet, and gradually what happened, the universe our solar system has taken into place, right. So, this was the concept of the Kant that has been given forward, but there are some criticisms of him, okay. Kant has some criticisms of him, and these criticisms will not go into very details about all these things, but I will just give you an idea, a small idea, that into this process he could not show that how did the pre-model they became, how did the scientist, he could not explain how did they get apart from one another, from where did they gain the temperature, from where did they gain the energy to move apart from one another, something this kind of criticisms they had, okay. And along with this we find that these are the kind of thing which was put forward by Kant, okay. Now, Kant has been has given this kind of a hypothesis, there were some criticisms, but again some different I mean some different scientists, some different geographers, some different astronomers, they and mathematician, they did not stop doing all this, they did not stop into viewing or observing the universe. They have done some more studies about it, and have found that in the year, we find that in the year 1796, okay, Laplace have given a hypothesis, okay, and we call it as the Laplace nebula hypothesis. Okay. Into this he has written about this in the year 1796, okay. And we find here that he has into the book, in his book entitled as the exposition of the world system. Okay. Into the book exposition of the world system, he has mentioned about his hypothesis, that is called as the Laplace nebula hypothesis. We have discussed about the Kant's gaseous mass hypothesis. The previous one was Kant's gaseous mass hypothesis, about which we have discussed. Then Laplace nebula hypothesis, that has been given in the year 1796, and then exposition of the world system. This is a book. Into this book he has described about this, Laplace has described about the nebula hypothesis, and we find here that he was a French mathematician, okay. And into his book he has mentioned that by removing some, it is almost similar to the hypothesis that has been given forward by Kant, and making some kind of corrections and all, Laplace has brought the hypothesis, Laplace has brought his hypothesis and has put it forward in the year 1796. It was almost similar to Kant's, Okay, it is almost similar to Kant, which Kant has given forward, and nebula, as the word suggests, is the cloudy form. Okay. And we find that the same concept has been put forward, that they have been moving into eddies, that is into circular motion. They have been moving and they have settled up, they have gained some heat like that, they have settled up into the first stage, the nebula in the first stage, that is a cloudy luminous patch of gas. Okay. It is a cloudy luminous, that is because it was luminous, it was emitting some kind of light, and it is of a gaseous structure. And what we find here, that it is very bright and whirling, it is very bright and was circling. Okay. This was circling, and gradually it has taken the shape of avoided all the things and it other things, and it has taken the shape and he has placed in the nebula theory in a very simple concept. Okay. He has taken it has taken the shape of different planets and all these things, and it has come forward with the present scenario and whirling in the sky. Okay. What we see after that, it started to cool down before gradually it starts to cool down and lost its temperature and heat and began to shrink down. It began to shrink and come closer to one another, and in this manner the matter also got concentrated to one another. The matter got concentrated, it got cooled down and has taken the shape of various planets. Okay. And as a result, it took the volume and shape and reduced in the motion. Okay. As it got reduced, the volume is reduced and its motion got increased. Okay. As the volume is reduced and its motion is increased, and it has taken, due to what force it has actually worked like that, it has worked with the help of the, due to the centrifugal force. Okay. It is worked due to the centrifugal force. All right. Then so Laplace assumed that the ring of the matter afterwards were divided into 9 planets. Some of the cloud they got encircling around, okay, and some got concentrated in between, and something like that. It has consequently the outer mass got cooled down and condensed into layers. Okay, it got condensed into various layers, and these layers only has given rise to the part of from a center, from the that is encircling into the center, encircling around the center, and which has taken the shape of planets. Gradually we got the shape of the solar system. This was the concept put forward by Laplace. Okay. And there were some, this was been given almost around 150 years ago. Okay. And we find here that it did not describe the source of the origin of the nebula. There were some criticisms of this theory also. These criticisms are like, there were not any source of the nebula. From where did this nebula come and how did this got cooled down and all? They were not so, and this theory is almost similar to the Kant's theory. Okay. And at this stage we find that there are some more criticisms have come, and that is the cause of the motion and cause of the rising of the temperature, that is also not been explained properly into this. And he did not mention about the separation process, and the division of the rings is not satisfactorily done. He said that it has been into various rings, it has started encircling, as I have shown you, that is from the, and which has concentrated into the centrifugal force. The middle one was there, and surrounding it, it has started concentrating like that. Into concentric rings it has developed like this, and into all these rings it has started getting down colder, and this matter has developed into various planets like this. Okay. So, that is what is the concept being, and which forces acted? The centrifugal forces acted. So, this was not exactly properly explained, what is the reason of such kind of encircling, and what is the reason, what is the source of the gaining energy. These things were not well explained by him. So, next onwards we find that there were some more hypotheses that has come, that is the planetesimal hypothesis. Okay. Planetesimal hypothesis of Chamberlain and Moulton. Okay. We will not go very much details into these things, all right. And as we see that this planetesimal hypothesis is actually telling about some cigar shaped, okay, cigar shaped of a, I am just telling, giving you a reference to it. that a cigar shape kind of a structure is formed, and into that we find that the all the 9 planets are there, which has been considered earlier, including Pluto. Okay. This kind of a structure has developed, and this cigar shaped structure, it has been parted out from the previous matter, and along with that it has taken the shape of it has taken the shape of a bigger structure, and from there it has taken the shape of the 9 planets, something like that it has explained. Okay. There are some proto-sun, he has differed about some proto-sun and all these things. So, we will not go very much details into all these things, I have just told you along with this, and next onwards we will be dealing with the, there is another hypothesis called as the James Jeans and collisions hypothesis of the Jeffreys, which we will not go into very details. I am just referring to you about all the previous concepts or the previous hypothesis which was there, and then we will be discussing about the modern theories which are very much related to the which are more improved and advanced. We will be dealing you see there are some previous hypotheses, as we can see here. That is Kahn's gaseous hypothesis. Then we have that is the planetesimal hypothesis. We have the planetesimal hypothesis that was put forward by Chamberlain. We will not go into the Chamberlain and Moulton. Then we have some tidal hypothesis. Tidal hypothesis of Jeans and collision, okay, hypothesis of Jeffreys, tidal hypothesis of Jeans, then we have, okay, we will write here. Collision hypothesis of collision hypothesis of Jeffreys, like that. Okay. So, like that we can see these are the some of the previous hypotheses, somewhere the previous concepts that were been given due to the according to the origin of the earth, how the earth and the universe has come into being. These were the hypotheses, these were some of the hypotheses, the previous hypotheses which were there, and gradually this has been removed with the help of I mean this has been improvised with some more and developed concepts. These more and developed concepts have been put forward by some different hypotheses also. Okay. So, we find that these hypotheses are basically what, students? Hypotheses are the ones which are based on some observations. Hypotheses are what? These are based on some understanding. These are based on some observations, some assumptions, some realities, explaining some realities and all these things. So, we find here that these are actually observed, concluded, observed, understood, assumed and then concluded. So, this is the way we can understand about we can put forward we can put forward some hypothesis. Okay. So, as we talk about this hypothesis, the most accepted hypothesis, the most believed and most accepted hypothesis is the hypothesis of what? That is the Big Bang hypothesis. Okay. It is called as the Big Bang theory. Okay. So, as we talk about this Big Bang theory, this talks about a certain kind of this Big Bang theory talks about certain kind of concept. Okay. See, the universe was at into the previous time, I mean as it is understood that there was nothing. Okay. There was nothing, and all the energy, there was only energy that existed. There was not existing any kind of physical entity. There was not existing any kind of physical matter. Okay. So, what happened? What was existing? Only energy. What was there? Only energy was there. Only energy was there. This energy has been flowing into the universe. There was nothing, the big space and only energy. So, what happened? This entire energy, they have consolidated into a single part, into a single area. When the entire energy has consolidated, when too much of energy comes closer to one another, when too much of energy it is it is near to one another, then what happens? When it is concentrating, then what happens? It takes the shape of matter. Okay. It takes the shape of matter. So, huge energy is concentrating into some place, and that is why it is being so that energy when it is concentrating into one place, then what happens? It takes the shape of some matter, and this matter is actually taking some kind of physical entity, taking some kind of physical expression. Okay. This physical expression, this physical entity that it is taking due to the concentration, and its physical entity, when it, what is happening? See, lot of energy got concentrated and have taken the shape of some mass. Okay. Lot of energy got concentrated and has taken the shape of mass. This mass was so much together, this mass was so much together, this is the process that has that was followed. Okay. Lots of energy, a huge mass of energy, that is, as I told you, there was nothing, there was no physical entity, there was no physical entity. There was no physical matter and only energy existed. So, this energy has concentrated together and has taken the shape of mass. Huge energy, all right, it has concentrated together and has taken the shape of mass. So, this energy that has all concentrated together and has taken the shape of mass, so much of energy it was there and mass is, it has concentrated, that it exploded out. Okay. It has exploded out, and with this explosion what happened? With this explosion, all the all the matter has started moving apart from each other. With this concentration, all the matter has started moving apart from each other. Okay. As we see, it moves apart from each other. We find that this moving apart from each other matter, they have been far apart. They have been spacing outside. They have been spacing so much outside. We find what? That the expansion is happening. Okay. From one matter to the other matter, things are getting far apart, and you know our galaxy, when it is observed by the telescope, it is find that there this big explosion started and all the things were going apart from each other. From there that big concentration of energy that it has exploded out, and with this explosion all the energies they started all the physical matter, it has taken the shape of physical matter, and this physical matter has started moving from each other and very far apart from each other. Okay. And so, which force is acting out into this condition? We see that it is moving apart and expansional force is working there. Okay. And along with that we find that That is why it is being said that our universe has started from a single point, and from this we have developed that our universe is actually it is been it was being all together and have started moving further apart, and it has started, there is a very much prevalent statement that our universe has started from the singularity. From one single point our universe has started spreading outside. Okay. Our universe has started spreading outside from one single point. That is why it is being stated that universe it is being started from singularity. Our universe is started from singularity. Okay. When there is infinite thing, then we call it as singularity. Okay. When there is infinite thing all together, combined together, then we call it that it is into a single position, it is into a one single entity. So, it is into a singularity, singular condition. Okay. Along with that, we find that into this Big Bang theory what we see, students, into the Big Bang theory, we find that this there was a big explosion, and gradually all the things has come into one all the things started going apart from each other. And on the other hand, what we find that this Big Bang theory is the most accepted theory and the most believed theory that is to be that can be understood about the origination of the earth. And here we find that we don't see that the universe have been I mean it is being into a concentrated condition. We still now we experience that the universe is far moving apart from each other, and that is why the expansion is still continuing. The expansion is still continuing, the stars are moving far apart from each other, the planets are going far apart from each other, and the practical example of that is what? That is our Pluto, isn't it? The Pluto is so much far apart, the Pluto has gone so much far apart that even we do not consider it as one of the planet of the solar system. This is a very relevant example with which you can understand sorry, with which you can understand that actually the universe is expanding, the universe is expanding and all the things are going very far apart from each other. So, our Pluto is a proper example of that. Even our if it is happening, if the laws are happening into the universe, it will be acting into our solar system also. Solar system being a part of the entire universe, being a part of it, and which galaxy do we stay? We stay into the Milky Way galaxy, isn't it? What galaxy, students? What galaxy? What is our galaxy? It is the Milky Way galaxy. And what is the other name of that galaxy? The other name of our galaxy is the Akash Ganga. Okay. What is that? We stay in the Milky Way galaxy or the Akash Ganga. Okay. That is the galaxy, that is our galaxy, understood? This is our galaxy. So, we find that and what is the nearer galaxy to us? This is our galaxy. What is our nearer galaxy? Any idea, students? That is the Andromeda galaxy. What is that? That is the Andromeda galaxy. This is the galaxy which is very near to us. Okay. And it has been believed that both these galaxies are coming coming closer to each other. So, okay, there might be some conditions that it might get collided, okay, and it is being understood that might be this kind of things happens and both the galaxies get collided and we call it as the Mildromeda, something like that. Okay. So, anyway, so as we talk about this, so we can find that as the effect of this Big Bang theory, as the as the understanding of this Big Bang theory, we find that things are moving far apart. Okay. Things are moving far apart. So, the expansional force is acting, and also we find that a few things are coming closer to each other with the help of by the acting of which energy by the acting of which force? Gravitational force. Okay. So, we find something few things are coming very closer to each other due to the gravitational attraction. Due to the gravitational attraction, it is coming closer to one another, and the universe itself is also getting expanded due to that explosion, where you can understand the entire thing has been consolidated into one place. Okay. Now, I will give you one example. As we understand that all the things get were consolidated into one place, and from there the Big Bang started. Very relatingly, I will tell you here. See, our earth, it has some layers into our earth has some layers below the surface of the earth, isn't it? We have the crust, we have mantle, we have the core. So, like that crust, mantle and core, each one of them have some upper layer, the inner layer, the upper and the inner, the outer crust, the inner crust, the outer mantle, the inner mantle, the outer core and the inner core, isn't it? So, what we find here? We find that the inner core is into a consolidated matter. Okay. So much of consolidated matter is there that it does not get liquid up, even by the boiling condition of the outer core also. You all know that the inner core is into a solid state. So much of matter is consolidated into the and compact and concentrated into the inner core, that it is not getting affected by the liquid and boiling condition of the outer core also. The reason is what? Because of the extreme consolidation of matter within the inner core. Understood? So, we have been discussing about the various the previous theories, about the old theories which has been describing about the origin and the evolution of the earth. These things we have discussed in today's class, and this chapter contains, the other part of this chapter contains some more theories also, which are dealing about the modern theories about the origination of the earth. All these things we will be discussing tomorrow in tomorrow's class. Tomorrow again in the same time I will be coming with you with the next part of this chapter, that is on Sunday. Tomorrow we will be we will be going on in the next part of this chapter, and till then you go through all the things what we have discussed about this chapter, and if you have any queries, do come up with your queries. The phone lines will be open for you. So, till then, stay healthy, stay safe, have a good day.